It should be reconnecting right now.
There you go.
All
Boom.
right, there we go. All right, cool. All right, so you said a company bought out this company or something like that?
It was going to. So
Mm-hmm.
if you notice, all through 2017, 18, and 19,
2017,
that is
18,
a
19.
that is a very consistent business,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
From really like yeah, from 17, 18, and 19, even now, right?
Yeah.
Even now, it's fairly consistent. And so the company had said, yeah, we're gonna buy at 12. If I don't know if you can do a rolling average of what the average was for that for the past 3 years
Mm-hmm.
or even the past 2 years. But if you look at it, it's anywhere between like, you know, seven and like eight, nine to 12, $14, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were going to what was the name of the company? It was Amherst Residential. Amherst Residential, I believe it is. But Amherst Residential, which was another huge investment company, was going to buy them out, and they were going to buy them out at 12.50. And so they're like, yeah, that makes sense. There it is. Okay, boom. Amherst Residential. Just listen to this, right?
Yeah.
And tell me what you think about it. They were going to buy them out for $2.3 billion.
Damn.
Amherst Residential, a privately owned, vertically integrated real estate firm, Front Yard Residential Corporation, two industry leading providers of
Mm-hmm.
high quality, affordable rental homes, announced today, this is February of 2020, announced today that the companies have entered into a definitive merger agreement, whereas Amherst Residential will acquire Front Yard in a transaction valued at approximately $2.3 billion, including debt to be assumed or refinanced. Under the terms of agreement, Front Yard shareholders will receive $12.50 in cash per share. Their per share purchase price represents a premium of approximately 12% over the per share closing price of the Front Yard's common stock on May 20th in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
The day prior to the public announcement, Front Yard decisions to initiate a formal process to explore strategic alternatives. This transaction meaningfully advances our efforts to improve the experience of the whatever. Long story short, they were about to buy the company for $2.3 billion. Does it tell you how much it's valued at right now?
You talking about? Yeah. 1.76 million.
Right, one point
Wait,
seven
wait.
six.
It's that's the volume actually. Hold on. I don't. No. Market cap.
Atmosphere,
Oh, is
what's
that
up,
market?
guy?
Yeah. Atmosphere. So what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up, Atmosphere? What's up, bro? We're just doing a little bit of market lessons for Saturday.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Um, so yeah, they were basically promised to buy this company at $12.50 a share, $2.3 billion, which is basically what the company was worth. It was pretty it was I say it was undervalued, right? This is like Verizon and AT&T merging, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are some of the two largest privately owned real estate firms in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so one was getting ready to buy the other, right? And so you could
Mm-hmm.
imagine that the stock price in that is going to drastically, if they're buying them for 14, imagine if they continue that stock, the price of that stock is going to go through the roof. And not only that, is if they are in a situation to try to merge with another company, it's in their best interest to inject as much money as they can to make this company vertical, right?
Yeah.
And so nobody really bought into it, right? You don't see a huge change from when that happened, but in February they announced it, nothing really changed. They kind of stayed fairly quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the deal, everybody was just going to keep their shares. Like, oh, bet, perfect. They're going to get acquired from this other company.
Mm-hmm.
This other company, once they acquire them, the stock price is probably going to jump up, right? But you're guaranteed at least 12.50 in cash per share. So coronavirus happened, so they wanted to be a little bit more conservative um with their investments. So they're like, this right now isn't the time for mergers. This is the
Yeah,
time to
yeah.
make sure that you stay in business. Boom. So when they saw that, everybody started selling their shares, and they're like, oh well, they're not going to be doing that. Let me see. They're not going to be doing that deal. Obviously, um, everybody kind of bowed out. So what happened? Right, the stock price just got destroyed.
They did.
So boom, May 4th, they announced that the company they have agreed to terminate the previously announced merger agreement, in pursuant
Mhm.
to which Amherst would have acquired Front Yard, and the parties have entered into a settlement agreement with respect to the termination. So they're like, "Nah, it's all good. Don't worry. We're not going to do this." So, in connection with the termination of the merger agreement, Amherst has agreed to pay $25 million fee to Front Yard, purchase 4.4 million shares of Front Yard common stock, and a primary issuance of $12.50 per share, and an aggregate purchase price of $55 million, and provide $20 million committed 2 years unsecured loan facility to Front Yard. So,
That's not bad,
what is?
bro. That's not bad. That's
It's
not
not.
that does
It's not bad at all.
that's not bad, bro. You think the
It's
price
not.
you think the price is gonna continue to drop? Because if you look at that candle, when it looks like that, like you know what I'm saying, look like it's
Yeah,
just still gonna drop.
yeah. It looks like it's going to continue to drop. But
Mhm.
my thing is, like, I think right now is the time for entry. Those are
Yeah.
definitely not confirmation candles that it's not. It's going to be changing the other direction. But I think that, you know once they inject this money back into the business, then it's going to radically change, right? And it's up to them when they do that,
Mhm.
right? So, but you got to figure, this company, the rental revenue increased to $54.3 million in the first quarter of 2020, so it's
Mhm.
up almost 5% from 2019. So they're
Mhm.
doing better. First quarter of 2020, um first first quarter of 2020 was Front Yard's best ever operational quarter, with core funds, or FFOs, of 12% per diluted share, home,
Mhm.
whatever the case is. March 31st was Front Yard's best ever stabilized lease percentage of 97%,
Mhm.
200 basis points, which is 2% from 95%, as of December of last year. In April, rent collections exceeded 99% of Front Yard's trailing 12-month average.
Mhm.
So these people, there's no showing that these people are going away, that they're doing bad in business. They're not like struggling whatsoever. But it's just a thought process right now, that because that merger didn't go through, people just just sold, right?
Yeah.
And people sold their shares. And right now, people aren't reinvesting into um real estate markets. It's really hard to get into housing, right? Because default rates are so high.
Mhm.
Because default rates are so high, and the requirement because default rates are so high, the traditional way of lending is where you needed a 700 before, you now need a 720, right? And so people are thinking that this company has anything to do with that kind of properties. It doesn't, because they don't realize that this company um, this company doesn't buy, purchase, and sell homes.
Mhm.
This company, they manage rentals. You know what I'm saying? So they'll rent out a house. They'll rent out, apartment complexes and things like that,
Yeah.
and that's what everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a real estate firm. I'm sure they're pretty fairly diversified, but again, they're having some of the best quarter that they've had in such a long time, and preparing to um to sell, right? They're doing
Mhm.
great. You will definitely want to buy a company that's on the uptrend. But this is one of the largest investors in single family rental properties. And I honestly think that right now, because the qualifications for people to even get a new home or something like that are they're so exhausted that
Mhm.
people are going to be investing in single family rental properties.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? As or apartments, as opposed to purchasing, the house of their dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because on top of that, where you needed to put 10,000 down for a house, now you got to put 20,000 down, no questions asked.
No question. Yeah, for that.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
only people that are going to benefit from this are like veterans, right?
Mhm.
Because they basically don't have to put down anything,
Nah. Yeah.
or a very low price. But yeah, I do believe the key is to catch this at its lowest point, right?
Mhm.
And you always guess where the lowest point is. I'm very comfortable in saying that when this is all said and done, this is going to jump back up to at least $12 a share.
Yeah. Yeah. See.
I'll jump,
Yeah. It's
I'll jump up out of it at like 11, right? You know what I mean? I'll jump out
yeah.
of it
Yeah.
11, 11.50, something like that. Take my profits and run. But the situation right now is it's like it's so low. It's at a discounted price. I don't know if it's the lowest of the low, but it's definitely very low. It's definitely enough to keep on your watch list to be like, yo, they're making a turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, yeah, you do want to catch at the lowest peak, but when you read it from right to left, there's nothing to the left to look at. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, like, what I mean? Like, give me something to work with, and I don't see anything I can work with. You just see red.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it could come back up because, like, when I look at it from right to left, it's nothing for me to look at. And this candle looks like it just want to keep dropping. You see what I'm saying? Like, it looks like it wants to at least keep dropping and then retrace possibly. Maybe like from I don't know. I don't even know what it's gonna go at, but even if it hits like $3 or so, you can't lose
Hmm.
on that. It's one of those things where we just talked about. You can't lose.
Right. 100%. The goal is to get in, you know, when it's at its lowest point, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that right now I'm not super invested into Resi. I only have like I think 14, 15 shares. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go super far in,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I I did my research on it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty confident that um it's gonna come back at
Mm-hmm.
some point. Because if you notice, like you can't judge a book by its cover, right? So the first thing you look at is this big ass bearish candle.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if you look at how it performed in 17, 18, 19, and then the beginning of 20, it's a very stable company. There's no huge swings. There's no massive turnarounds. It was all staying within a very decent range.
What about what happened in 2014? What happened to this? Like, what caused
No,
this?
no clue. No clue. I have no clue.
It's
I mean, but this
probably
is
it looked like what it looks like to me is
it evened itself
maybe
out.
yeah, I think in 2013 it got on the New York Stock Exchange, and of
Yep.
course it caused the stock to skyrocket because it's new, and then it
Yep.
came back for a retracement to where it was supposed to be. I mean, I've seen a lot
Exactly.
of companies did this.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like it's a huge firm. I'm sure that a bunch of guys in the firm were like, "Yo, we're starting up this new firm. Throw some money at me."
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And ran that bitch up to $30, $35. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like that's
Hmm.
great. You know what I mean? But realistically, with the company and the assets that it has, it evened itself out. It
Hmm.
really did.
It really did.
And
Yeah,
that's
it
that's
did.
what you expect. That's what you expect. But then
Hmm.
with that retracement, obviously it fell a little bit lower than the actual value, but
Hmm.
then it retraced again, right? And then for years, and then you got to keep in mind most businesses fail within the first 3 years.
Hmm.
So if it went from 2013 when it first was started to 2016 and it continued to go down, then that's probably not a business that's going to be successful. If it
Hmm.
continued to go down, they say the majority of businesses close within the first 3 years, right? Or
Hmm.
really, it's the first 2 years, but they had consistent uh, depreciation, but were still able to be profitable nonetheless.
Hmm.
And then the next 6, 7, 8, 9 to 20 to now, from 2016 to now, they've been fairly um stable,
Yeah. No,
right?
no, no. You're
They've been
right. You're
fairly
right. You're right. I think it's something good and worth looking into. I mean,
stable.
I think I want to see how this price looks. I'll probably wake up early in the middle of the like, the pre market opens at 4 o'clock, and I can trade
Yeah,
pre market. So I think during the pre
yeah,
market, I'm gonna take a look at the price and see what it looks like.
yeah. I think the pre-market right now is at 613. It's up like 1.32%, but
The pre market as of when
um
you talking about when it updates at 5 o'clock or something?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I think that this is something really important, and maybe if somebody's listening, that
Hmm.
there is, there's some knowledge in this, but the key and the people that are going to be making it out of this, with money piles are not finding companies that are shooting up because necessarily there's some brand new COVID medication coming out, or Lysol company because they're selling out of stores. It's the people that made smart investments to catch stable companies at their lowest points
Yep.
and ride them back into
Yep.
normalcy.
Yep. See, and that's the thing. I've been telling people like there's a couple of stocks like like I like to hold. Like I like to hold for the long term, and I've been telling people some of these stocks you got to buy on the downtrend. You can't because the reason why is because you'll never know when the bottom hits, and you're gonna wish you caught the bottom every single time. Because like I
Of
remember when
course.
I got into Carnival, I bought some Carnival shares at $9. I was like, well, what happens happens, and and it hit $7 for like a split second, and it shot back up to like I think $16, right? I sold, because it didn't look good, it didn't look
Yep.
good. So I sold. And then it came back down to like $7, and I was like, shoot, maybe it might go lower because I thought it was a retracement. I don't know what's supposed to happen. So that's when the coronavirus, when
Mm,
they thought they had it cured, and they changed their mind and all talk about lawsuits and stuff, and it went down to like
mm,
$7, and then it came back up to 9. I had a buy limit set for $9. Then I had another buy limit set for $10, even though that's kind of a short buy limit. I did it anyway, and then it's been staying over $12. On a bad day, it was at $12, and on a good day, it's staying over 16. And that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta buy on a downtrend because you never know when the bottom hits. The second problem that you would run into is my first in start rule. That's the second problem you'll run into.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. That's so. I'm a big fan of a trailing stop loss.
Yeah, I do that too. Yep. Yep.
So I'm comfortable with where I'm going to be.
Hmm.
Hold on 1 second.
Damn, that Bitcoin looking tasty right now. What's it? Oof. Oof. Come on, Bitcoin. Ooh. Hey, chat. I'm sorry, my streamcast back. I'm live. I'm in here with Guantanamo Bay.
Yo,
We are here talking about these markets. Man. The
yeah, it's
forex
really
markets,
important, man.
forex markets open up on Sundays at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Hmm.
Of course, the U.S. markets or the New York Stock Exchange opens up at between 4 o'clock a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're trying to draw these charts out. We're trying to get it right. Man. The rich people are the
Yeah.
people that's getting ready, man. The unrich people are the people that's waiting on the hand.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Hey, do
That's
you do you uh do you play any earnings plays?
what you mean. Nah, I probably don't. What do you mean by unplays?
So
Educate us,
so I'm
man.
trying to think of a company that earnings just came out. Let me jump on the supercomputer.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like people who, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, because yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but I mean, I
right.
don't really
So
have a place to help. Kind of just try to know and get in type of thing.
got you.
Mhm.
Let me see. All right, so damn, there's a lot of earnings coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep this on Resident on my watch list. I'm probably gonna wake up early and see what it looks like in the pre-market. And I probably, like you said, you didn't put that much into it. I probably didn't put much into it either. That way I can
Yeah,
see
it's
some
a couple bucks. You know what I'm saying?
couple.
Like,
You know
don't
what
go
I'm
broke,
saying?
right? If I would have known on GNUS, I'm glad I started off pretty heavy on that one. But I
Yeah.
pulled my money. I pulled my money out of UCO, right?
Mhm.
Because between UCO and USO, they
Yeah.
piss me off.
You say UCO?
um,
That's another one. UCO.
UCO and USO.
What's
So
UCO?
these UCO, yep, ProShares, Bloomberg. So UCO tracks the increase in oil
Mhm.
prices,
Mhm.
right? So when UCO is going down, USO is going up. So right now, I mean, it, if you, oh yeah, because you do all this long term stuff. Uh, right now,
Yeah.
it's bullish, right? The past
Mhm.
month, 2 months, it's very bullish. And so if you look at USO, USO is probably, I mean, it's very bearish. I'm sorry, UCO. If you look at
Mhm.
USO,
Mhm.
they typically, you know how you trade like you trade gold and silver, right? Or
Yep.
sometimes.
Mhm.
So you know how when gold goes up, silver goes down.
Mhm.
So it's the same concept. When gold goes up, silver goes down, and when silver goes down, gold goes up. But if you look at, yeah, USO, you
Yeah.
see
This
how
USO.
USO is very, oh, you're in USO.
Yeah.
Okay. So USO, another way to confirm that it's going to continue to be bullish is to
Mhm.
look at how UCO does. And you want to make sure that UCO stays as bearish as possible. Right? And so it's a really good way to day trade, or a
Mhm.
good way to even swing trade if you're able to kind of keep an eye on both of them at the same time.
Mhm. Yeah, I got
Um
my. I remember you mentioned I do this long term. I think my long term portfolio is done. I'm gonna start hopping in and hopping out a couple of small trades, like the one like Resi, a couple of them.
yeah,
Unless I see some good potential, like I see that looks like gold to my eyes. Long term
right.
all day, like USO, gold to my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it's
Yep.
just it just looks so juicy, man. Like USO looks like a marinated. Like just
Yeah,
look at it.
you USO?
Yeah, just look how much room it has.
Yeah, but you understand why it's doing this, right?
So why is it doing this? Let us know.
Do you yeah, yeah, so it's doing this. So USO and UCO,
Hmm.
they track I'm sorry, not you. It's UCO and SCO. I'm sorry.
SCO. I don't know anything
I'm
about
sorry.
SCO. What's SCO? Pro Shares Trust, Ultra Short, Bloomberg, Crude Oil.
Yep.
Must be.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Never heard of it.
Yeah. So check that out.
Oh,
You see that?
that's that sexy M forming too. But
Hmm.
yeah.
So this is the opposite of UCO.
Okay. 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 I see what you're
So
saying.
these are the two that you trade against,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? And so when one is going up, the other one is going down, and vice
Okay.
versa.
Mhm.
And that's really important because um that's really important because you can day trade the shit out of this. I know people that literally their whole day trade is just between these two. And typically a good day trader is only making 2 or 3 trades a day.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um let me show you something too. Let me see. Uh
I love these
all right.
markets,
So
man. Just
yeah, yeah,
makes
yeah.
me so happy.
Look This is not. This is
Check,
this is just to prove a point. These guys are not on my watch list, but I just
check
want to
out
show you
Bitcoin.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Go to RUB.
RUB. All right.
RUB. And let's
RUB
go like.
futures or
Yep. 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 RUB. It's Rosenfeld Oil Company. It should be at like 350.
RUB? Let me see this. That's a lot of them, man. Okay, so I could probably spell it out. So
Okay, we
spell
can.
it.
You can go to another one. Hold on. No biggie.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
No biggie. Watch. Let's go to.
I think I'll probably just, I might just use my Robinhood account to get that other trade, that Resi trade to flip. Cause I don't have much in my Robinhood account, so I can just use that to build up my Robinhood account. That's what I think I'm gonna do. That Resi trade that you were talking about
Yep.
to build my account.
Okay, try SGEN.
SGEN,
Yeah,
Seattle Genetics.
Seattle Genetics.
All
Yep.
right.
I was trying to find something that's trading on the Nasdaq. Okay, cool. So look at the past week. Is that something you can look at?
The weekly candle. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So boom. So on this account,
Hmm.
the beginning or middle of March, the
Damn, look
earnings
at
call came
that.
out. The earnings call came out, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so typically,
Right here. Yeah,
um,
yeah, right here. I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
yep, typically when your earnings call comes out,
Mm-hmm.
the price of the stock is going to sell off. It's going to completely be oversold or
Mm-hmm.
undersold rather.
Mm-hmm.
And so um right before the earnings come out, or typically before the earnings come out, you're going to see the price of that stock drop dramatically, and it
Mm-hmm.
usually always leaves ability for a great entry point.
Damn, I didn't notice that, man. I learned something new, man. See, Ron, you teaching me something new. You teaching us something new. That's why we got you here with us, man. Y'all heard
Yeah,
that?
man.
When the earnings come out, don't be scared.
Right, because
Just.
typically, right, especially right now, because we're in a very bearish market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So typically, companies are going to underperform.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's proof of that, there is a, um, when there's proof of a performance of a company underperforming,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to sell off their shares while it's at the highest price, right? Ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Can you highlight that last little section from like where that dip started to where it
Uh,
is now? If we
okay.
can see that close up,
All right. I got
where
you.
that dip started.
Talking about right here.
Yep, yep. Like from
Okay.
there to the end. Like,
So you want me to hit you with this?
sure.
All right.
Yep. And so what did it drop? It dropped to 136,
149 to 136. Yep.
149 to 136.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So say you entered at 140, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say you entered at 140. You bought it right before it turned around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you rode that shit all the way up to what, 170,
Yep.
165,
Yep. Yep.
right? Because there's a confirmation candle right there that's getting ready to turn. So you
Mm-hmm.
could have rode that to 166, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, it's only volume. At that point, it's literally how much can you do within that day.
Yeah, that's a
And if you
strong
if and
trend
if
too.
do you have the hour chart?
Yes, sir. Right here.
Boom. Okay. hmm Yeah, man. Look at that. Look at that ability to jump in and jump the fuck out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like at that point. it's just a matter of volume. It's just how many
Mhm.
shares you have, because I'm cool with $2 or $3 per every share that I have.
Mhm.
That's a big win in a lot of people's eyes. So then this one, and this is a random one. I didn't jump out of this one, but this is just
Mhm.
like random. This is random companies, and you see when their earnings calendar comes out.
Mhm.
And so let's say, what's tomorrow? The
That's
18th.
that's a pretty good. That's something good to know, man. That's some good information. Some good information because
Mm-hmm.
I normally how they say that once you want to look back at history to see to test out your strategy, and of course when I look back, uh, I see the same thing you were talking about with the earnings thing coming on. You see right here, boom, something right there. I mean, of
Right.
course, right here, did a little something right here as well.
So guess what earnings is coming out tomorrow?
Which one?
Walmart's.
WNT.
There's literally, yep.
Like,
Um,
do you have a list of wins that's coming out? Or you
bro,
just
there's 660 earnings coming out tomorrow. Walmart, JP Morgan, Walmart's Q1s. Actually, I'm just gonna send this to you, bro.
hmm
I'm just gonna send this to you because this is something that you got it. You have to take into consideration, bro.
That's
Like,
something good, man. That's some good information. Every time earnings is about to come out from the company, the price drops, and that's your chance for an entry
in a bullish market,
in a bullish market. Okay.
in a bear. I mean, I'm sorry, in a bearish market, right? When because everything right now is dropping,
hmm
right? So people are gonna assume that it's at its highest point. Earnings come out, they don't know. It's a huge risk.
hmm
In a bit in a so that's in a bullish market. It's typically going to drop. In
hmm
a bullish market, when everything is going up, um, and businesses are doing good and things are doing well, you're typically going to see a spike,
hmm
right? So that means that you buy it, whatever you have it, uh, whatever you have it at,
hmm
and you buy it right after the earnings comes out.
hmm
You know what I mean? Um, and so you can play it either way. So I just sent you a list of the 660 earnings calendar that's coming out for just tomorrow. 660 accounts. Walmart,
Man,
their Q1's coming out. JP Morgan Chase, their annual meetings coming out. Home Depot, their Q1 earnings coming out.
this is some good
You
stuff right here to know. Man,
mm-hmm.
that's why we got you here with us right now,
Yeah, bro. The
man.
earnings calendar is super important because, and then not only that, right? It's
Man.
important to know it's important to know like their financials. So if
hmm
you go to Walmart, right? Click on Walmart. Like the actual, yeah, click on Walmart there. Scroll down a little bit more. Right? So right there, right?
hmm
So you can look at the financials of the company. You can see if there's a dividend of the company,
hmm
right? Bro, come on, bro. This is the stuff you need to know, bro.
I need to know this right here,
This
man.
is the stuff you need to know.
This is
This is the stuff that people look at. It's like, well, how do you know about the company? Well, I looked at their financials,
hmm
and I don't know if you know what me and Rich do all day. Well, I do, but Rich kind of does something a little bit different. But on my side, all I do is I talk to companies, I get them to apply, and I look at their financials to see if they're big enough or small enough to be able to do business with us.
hmm
And so I'm looking at profit loss and balance sheets all day.
hmm
And so I can give decent business assessment from from what they're making, right? Like we have
hmm
certain minimums, certain qualifications that kind of promote a good business. But this is the kind of information that you need to know. And as
Yeah.
you can see, if you want to play a easy, quick day trade,
hmm
super fast before people are even waking up, I say test it out 30 or 40 times, bro. Because you can jump into little baby companies, right? You can
Yeah.
look at a lot of these companies and say, well, it's not Walmart, so I don't have to buy a whole stock. But maybe I'll go to Allstate that's at $95 a stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Shell right now is at $13 a stock. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't
That's
have to
not
jump in and jump
bad,
out,
man. It's
but
not bad.
just say, you know what? I got 15 on it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna see what their earnings, what Shell's earnings are tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Once you see that it drops, get your buy-in at what you can deduce as the lowest point, and
Mm-hmm.
ride that ship back up to normalcy, and then sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, and that's the key. So
yeah.
and then on top of that, here's the
So
catch
is it
22.
is it the day before earnings? When exactly?
Um, Sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's either the day before earnings, but here's the thing. Typically, people are going to sell the shares that are coming out on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sell them on Friday because they don't want to hold them over the weekend. You know
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so they don't want to hold them over the weekend. So typically, you're going to see a lot of stocks sold off on that Friday before
Mm-hmm.
earnings. And so you should know when your earnings for each one of your every single company that you're invested in, you should have a sheet that says exactly when their earnings are,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
What's the one you have? You have UCO, right?
I don't have this stock, but just the one you told me to pull up earlier.
What was the ones that you have right now?
Talking about oil, USO.
Oh, was that it? The USO?
I think that's the one. Remember we were confused about was some
USO, yeah.
UCO and
Okay, cool.
SEO. I don't have UCO
Yep.
or SEO.
Okay, but you have what, like American Airlines or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm Yeah, I have American Airlines. Let me see.
So you gotta boom. How are you analyzing? How are you analyzing without this, bruh?
Just
You know
look
what I'm
at
saying?
yeah. I gotta start using this. Start using this. I learn
But
something new every day, man. That's why we got you here in the chat. I'm gonna
right.
start. I'm gonna start
Well,
looking into that. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna do some tests, and I'm gonna try to see if I can build my account up with the strategy that you told me. That's some good information to know.
100%, bro.
I'm gonna hop in a couple of
100%.
forex trades and then go walk off, and then I'm gonna see how I'm gonna test this strategy out. So you say is it usually the day of or the day before or both?
It depends on when it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, the some it's typically going to drop when earnings comes out. Sometimes earnings comes out during the day. Sometimes it comes out right before market ends.
Oh yeah,
So it
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
depends. So
Mm-hmm.
you just whenever their earnings comes out, you're typically going to see a slight dip in their account. Or if they're doing good, you'll see a bump in your account, but you know that's not an entry point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really easy. So somebody like Walmart, they've probably been doing great through this coronavirus stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
when their earnings come out, it's probably not going to drop tremendously. It may, but it may give you a good entry. It may give you a great entry point into Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
right? At least for a swing trade that you can hold for 30 days or hold for a quarter.
That's
You know
not
what I'm
bad,
saying? And if
man. Yeah, that's not bad at
yeah, and
all.
if you're holding it for a quarter, and shit hits the fan, you know that, okay, well, the earnings are coming up. How did my company do? You can actually look at how the company did based on
Mm-hmm.
how it previously did historically,
Mm-hmm.
and you can say, okay, well, I don't think that it's done this, I don't think that it's done that. And so that's the kind of uh perspective that you got to take on these like Forex is completely different.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really don't. It's completely different. But when you're talking about stocks,
Mm-hmm.
this is the kind of research that you have to know. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why um when I went into that um
The Market
oh shit,
Watch, Market Insider.
no, hold on. Oh, no, so when I went into before I went into Genius, GNUS,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't just gonna put my money into it because some random dude
Somebody
on
told
a forum.
you,
Yeah, it was like I
yeah.
had to do my due diligence.
Yeah,
I even
yeah.
started asking single mothers I know, like, "Oh, do you know this show? Do you know the show Llama Llama? They're like, hell yeah, my kids love that show. How do you know about Llama Llama? I
That's
was like,
funny,
yeah,
bro. I mean, you got to though. You got to though. I mean, you got to
yeah.
though. You gotta be ready because I mean that's what I do myself though. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
I didn't really look into what balance sheets. I'm more. I look at the chart itself, and then I do a lot of research on, YouTube and watching, doing a lot of reading and stuff like that. That's how I've been determined when to hop in on the stock market. But of course, like you said, the earnings report, I never noticed that. I never noticed that. Like I just when I see the earnings report and it was bad, I thought, oh man, something's bad is going to happen. I really didn't think of it as an entry point in a trade.
Yeah, yeah. So then you have to take into consideration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what is a earnings report?
You talking about yeah? Hold on.
So when you think about it, like, what
Mm-hmm.
is a quarterly earnings report?
Mm-hmm.
And so a quarterly earnings report is basically a an analysis of how that company did within that quarter,
Yeah.
right? So in a bearish market where everything is dropping down, you can bet your ass that when an earning report is going to come out, outside of companies that you know have been eating within coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
that you know have been taking advantage of coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
when their earning report comes out, their earnings report for Q1,
Mm-hmm.
everybody should be in the shitter, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody should be down right now, except for, you know, Walmarts and the Targets of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But for the average business, you saw gas prices are going down, oil's going down, all these other industries are going down. The people are not buying gold like they were before
Mm-hmm.
in mass amounts. The value of those things are going down. So when earnings reports come from businesses, it's just a matter of fact that um the average oh shit um the average industry is going to take some sort of hit, right? Maybe not all, maybe not every, but the average is going to take some hit. It looks
Mm-hmm.
like gold is actually doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? How is silver doing?
I don't have that. I don't trade silver. I just trade gold. I
Okay.
look at it, but I don't really trade.
Okay.
Yeah, with that strategy you told me, it almost made me want to just trade stock of Forex now.
It's a double-edged sword. My thing
Mm-hmm.
with Forex right now, there's so much room for pip, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't really play the long game with Forex.
Nah, you gotta get in and get
You know
out
what
of
I'm saying?
Forex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I took my mentality for Forex and just brought it over to stock.
that's what I did too. Cause like
Hmm.
about being impatient and setting up the trades. There's a lot of different things you learn from trading, which cause stocks. Without that knowledge, it was more of buying, hoping it's out for you in the future.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Cause I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's how I was when I first got into stocks. Cause I got into stocks before all this corona stuff happened, and of course it wasn't a bull market anyway, so I didn't have to think about anything. Just buy it, and tomorrow it's gonna go up anyway.
Right.
Like I.
And then it's really a 50-50 chance, right? There's going to go
Mhm.
up or go down, but in a bullish market, it's most likely going to continue
Keep
to go
going
up.
up,
Even
yeah,
if it goes down,
yeah.
if it goes down a little bit, so be it, but it'll still be going up,
It's
especially if
still
you're looking
going
at the
up.
higher time.
Cause like
Yeah.
before all this stuff went down, I was in Apple, stuff like Apple and Disney, stuff like that. Those are gonna go up. Like those are stocks you just know gonna go up. And
Right.
those were stocks I was in.
Right. Let me actually put this in the stonks uh
1 second, I'll be
joint.
right back. Hold on.
Hmm.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. Yo, Ron, you there, bro? All right, chat. I'm gonna give him a few seconds to come back. All right. Give Ron some time to come back. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue to look at a few of the stocks that you guys want us to look at. Some stocks. Just type it in the chat and we can take a look at it and tell you what we think about it.
Yo.
Yo, I'm back. I'm back.
So I just booked a flight uh, for June 13th through the 20th
Where you going? I think you told me
to
you was
Colorado
going.
Springs.
Oh yeah, I think
Huh?
you mentioned that. I think you mentioned that a while back.
I was supposed to be in Dominican Republic right now.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's what it
supposed to leave
was. That's what it
on
was.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I was supposed to leave on the 14th.
Mhm.
Coming back on like the 25th, 26th or something like that. And obviously that got blown out the water, but um I'm gonna go to Colorado Springs actually.
Chicken. No,
What's that?
Colorado's a nice. Colorado's a nice place to be, man. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy your
Facts.
time there, man.
Yeah, bro. Well, they have some of the lowest cases
Mhm.
of COVID out there, and there's mad like outdoor stuff to do.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like here, like typically, like if I go to DR, I'm out at the clubs and on the beach every day,
Mhm.
and you can't do that um, you can't do that right now
Mhm.
in most places.
Mhm.
So vacation is kind of beat up, but they have beautiful things like if you Google Garden of the Gods, bro, let me know what you think about that.
Garden of the God.
Garden of the Gods.
Gotta pull up right now. I guess I'll show the stream Garden of Gods too.
Yeah, bro. Check out the images, dog.
Oh, images. All right.
Yeah. No, like the image, the Google images
Mhm.
at the top. Yeah,
No, that's nice, man. When I went to
bro. How
Colorado, it
nice is
was
that?
snowy though. It was snowy and cold when I went.
Yeah. Well, this will be in the middle of the summer, so
Mhm.
it's gonna be nice. And it's like there's mad outdoor stuff to do in Colorado Springs, and it's super low key. It's not a place that's known for like their nightlife, so a lot of the stuff to do out there is like just go on trails and kind of just be outside.
Mhm.
And it's like, bro, this is a perfect place.
No, Colorado's nice, man. But I never been to Springs though. I went to Denver
So guess how much I got the ticket for, bro.
for the low, probably like 30, 40, $50.
Bro, I got it for $104 round trip for a
That's
week.
not bad.
Bruh, tell me about it. And then I got one of my friends that lives down there and it's like, yo, don't worry about nothing. Like, you come out
Come.
here,
Mhm. Mhm.
everything is good. You don't gotta rent a car. Like, I got 2 cars. Like, I work from home. Like, you work from home. And that's another thing too, is like I won't even have to take
Come
off days
back.
of work.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
so I could chill. I could chill for a little bit. You know what I mean? All I
Mhm.
gotta bring is my laptop charger and a mouse, and I'm good as long as I got phone service.
That's it. That's not bad, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
not
For a
bad, man.
hundred, for a
I
hundred,
should do that too, man.
shit. Like
That's
I
not
want to go
bad.
places that is like one I've never been there. You know what I'm saying? I've flew. I flew through Denver, but not
Mhm.
Colorado Springs. So it'll be something new. You know what I mean? Chance to get out the house
Yeah, that's
for a
not
hundred
bad,
bucks,
bro.
bro. I
Mhm.
literally just spent $100 on Amazon the day before yesterday. I bought this bearded dragon a leash. I bought
Mhm.
some like pedicure stuff because
Mhm.
like just for shits and giggles, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
so for $100 to stay a week in a place where I have like I don't have to pay for a hotel or a
yeah.
vehicle
Mhm.
and kind of just enjoy outside, like hell yeah. Okay, the forex market going up.
No, it's not a bad deal, man. I feel the same thing, but I have a lot of Marriott points because I'm military, and normally when I'm working, they keep me in the hotel for like months. Not no 1 week, no.
Hmm.
I'm talking about like 6 months every time I'm in the
Yeah.
hotels. So I have over a 250,000 Marriott points.
Mm,
So
damn.
like, I got enough points to stay in Paris for like 2 or 3 weeks, probably even more,
Yeah.
because I'm an ambassador too.
Okay. Okay. Young
Hmm.
ambassador.
Yo, so
Ambassador out here.
these forex markets looking good too, but man, you got me hyped up about the stock market. It's almost
It's a
better than me.
different beast, right?
Hmm.
It's definitely a different beast. I will say.
Hmm.
Um, it's just like with the forex market, it's really easy. Even with the forex market, man, I was playing the daily trade. Like I was trying to jump in and jump out. You know,
Hmm.
grab
Hmm.
my couple pips and leave,
Hmm.
and just take my day back. My goal was to try to make $100 before my morning meeting at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. See, I
You know what I'm
like
saying?
to.
That was
That's
my day.
not bad at all, bro. That's good. I like the trade support and resistance zones, man. To get in and get
Hmm.
out with support and resistance. Only because
Yeah.
it works so well. I mean, if it break past it, then oh well, I lost for a couple bucks.
Right.
But normally it doesn't. So I'm wondering.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like, man, is like, well, not even that I didn't like, but it was a situation where um hold on.
Like right here. If this continue to go up, I'm definitely gonna hop in this trade. Like, why not? That's a good sell right there all day. At least for me. I mean, history repeats itself. And obviously this big gap right here is Corona.
Yeah. So are you selling it or are you buying?
I'm selling it if it come up. I ain't selling it yet. Let's say it comes up about right here. In a decent little area in here. Man, I'll hop in that thing as a sell, put my stop loss a little bit up here, and just take that thing. I'll probably take it down to about right here. Remember now, it's a daily candle, so this is drop. I'll take it down to about. I like to get like an average, so I'll probably take
Yeah.
it down to about right here and just collect those pips because man, as you can see, man, history repeats himself. Back here, it stops here every single time. It comes down, come down, come down. So, I mean, I'm expecting the same thing here. I mean, it did here, so if
Mhm.
it comes back up, I'm expecting it to come back down again. So I'll start right here
Yeah.
all day and just catch it. So about right here, and get out. That's all I need. You
Right.
can't get greedy.
Yep. That's it. That's the key right there. People get greedy.
You can't
I have
get
a question
greedy.
though. I have a Dota question. The Iron Branch, right?
Hmm.
So the Iron Branch is +1 to your attributes, but it only lasts for 20 seconds.
No, it's +1 while you have it. I think what you're talking
Oh,
about.
what?
I think what you're talking about is, so you know how you have tangos.
Yeah.
If you use your iron branch, it'll plant a tree. If you actually use it, it'll plant a tree. And if you use your
Right.
tango on the planted tree, you get more region with the tango. That's
Got
why
you.
you'll see people use their iron branch and use the tango instead of walking through the tree and use the tango. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, but so I get +1 to all attributes while I have it.
While you have it, yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got you. So that's something that I should hold on to
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Or you can turn it into a magic stick too. A magic wand. Magic wand is good, but it all depends on who you're going against.
I'm playing OD right now,
Oh,
or Underlord rather. I'm playing Underlord.
I'm about to say. If you say OD, then you should have had some no talisman.
Yeah, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing. I'm
Now
playing
OD is
Underlord.
dope, but you gotta work on position. She's a damage dealer, but if your positioning ain't right, you can get murked. Oh snap! I see a trade right here, bro. This thing looks sexy too. I'm gonna hop in this thing and mind my business and see what happens. Hold on, let me make sure it don't go up no more. Stop loss looking kind of crazy. Hold on. That's a crazy stop loss though.
So it's me and Techies in a lane. I'm letting
Mhm.
him get the last hits, right? I'm supporting
No,
him.
nope. You supposed to. He's supporting you.
Remember, I'm playing Underlord.
Yeah, you're a
Okay.
position three. You're a utility position three. Think I'm gonna end my stream here until these markets up, so we can gather more data. Had a good stream, man. We gotta start doing that more often. It's Sunday though, so the markets don't open some days. But all in all, man, we gotta schedule a time where we can do something. I appreciate the follows and the likes. I appreciate the follow. OB, Swanton, Deandra. I appreciate it. Delson, Tongyo. I guess I said that right too. Cito, what's up, man? Obina. I guess I said that right. I hope. Appreciate the follow. All right, chat. It's break time for me. I'm tired. I'm hungry. So I'm gonna start doing this more often. I know I said that last time. Hopefully tomorrow I'll do better than today. Peace out, chat.